Tag TV brings you daily news bulletin from India. Breaking news and views from India.
Good evening. Welcome to South Asia Newsline. I'm Surbhi Sharma. Here are the top stories we are tracking for you on Monday, the 16th of March. India's coronavirus tally rises to 114 as numbers surge in Maharashtra province. Sindhi activists highlight persecution of minorities in Pakistan. And colourful carnivals attract visitors to annual festival in India's Goa. And now for all the details. The total number of coronavirus cases in India rose to at least 114 on Monday, with the western Maharashtra province recording a surge in cases. India has proposed setting up an emergency fund to fight the coronavirus outbreak in the South Asian region.
The number of novel coronavirus cases in India rose to more than 110 on Monday, with Western Maharashtra province the worst hit, recording 38 confirmed cases. As world continues to grapple with the coronavirus pandemic, Indian government is tackling the outbreak in war footing with various measures. India has already suspended most visas to the country and shut many land borders with neighbouring countries in a wide-reaching attempt to prevent the spread of coronavirus. Meanwhile, Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal on Monday announced that all gyms, nightclubs and spas in the national capital will remain closed till March 31st in order to contain the spread of deadly coronavirus.
आज ये निर्णय लिया गया कि जिम, नाइट क्लब्स, स्पाज इनको भी 31 मार्च तक बंद करने के ऑर्डर्स दिए जा रहे हैं और दूसरी जो भी गैदरिंग्स हैं, अदर गैदरिंग्स 50 से ज़्यादा गैदरिंग्स, चाहे रिलीजियस, सोशल, फैमिली, पॉलिटिकल, कल्चरल, ऐसे कोई भी गैदरिंग अलाउ नहीं की जाएगी 50 से ज़्यादा.
Earlier, India proposed setting up an emergency fund to fight the coronavirus outbreak in South Asia, with New Delhi offering $10 million to get it going, as health authorities across the region reported rising tallies of coronavirus cases. Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi said there were fewer than 150 cases in South Asian Association of Regional Cooperation or SAARC countries, but the situation ahead was uncertain.
Moving on, Sindhi activists recently held a demonstration in Geneva urging the international community to intervene to stop persecution of minorities in Pakistan. They highlighted several incidents of abduction and forced religious conversion of girls from minority communities in Pakistan.
Sindhi activists recently held a demonstration in front of the United Nations office in Geneva to raise the issue of persecution of minorities, especially Hindus, in Pakistan's Sindh province. The demonstrators were joined by Pashtun, Kashmiri and Baloch political activists, who also raised concerns over the enforced disappearances of innocent people belonging to ethnic minorities by the Pakistani army. In recent years, several incidents of abduction of Hindu girls and their forced conversion to Islam have shaken the minority community in Pakistan, and they have demanded justice to save their religion, culture and ethos.
Pakistani army is supporting these fundamentalists who are kidnapping our minor Hindu girls, and persecution against minority has been enormously increased.
The abduction and forceful conversion of Hindu and Christian girls is widespread in Pakistan.
Just that has happened hundreds and thousands of cases. Not a single perpetrator has ever been punished. And this is a systematic design to coerce, to persecute Sindhi Hindus so they should leave. They want to occupy Sindh. They want to colonize Sindh. They want to convert Sindhis into minority.
The activists urged the world community to increase pressure on Pakistan to act on the perpetrators and stop the persecution of minorities. In 1947, minorities comprised 23% of Pakistan's population. However, the numbers have come down to nearly 3%.
While their land and resources are being recklessly exploited to meet the energy and material needs of Pakistan, locals in GilgitBaltistan are left reeling under an acute power shortage. Prolonged power cuts continue to be a primary concern for the people in the illegally occupied region.
Scores of locals recently held a protest and blocked roads in Gilgit-Baltistan against frequent load shedding in the illegally occupied region. The protesters expressed they are having a distressing time due to the prolonged power cuts, expanding to more than 20 hours, which have hit businesses and studies of children. Locals have time and again accused Pakistan of meting out a stepmotherly treatment to the region. However, this seems a new low that Islamabad has stooped to in order to harass them.
लोग परेशानी की हालत में हैं, यहाँ तक कि मोबाइल चार्ज नहीं हो रहे हैं, जो दिगर जो कारोबारी सनती जो उससे लोग वाबस्ते हैं वो सब मुश्किलात में हैं। यहाँ तक कि जो तालीमी हलके हैं, जो बच्चे पढ़ने वाले हैं वो परेशान हैं। लिहाजा हमें हुकूमती वक़्त से खुसूसी हमारी गुजारिश है कि ये बिजली के बहरान पर काबू पाएँ और जल्द अज जल्द।
The protesters alleged it is part of Islamabad's agenda to keep the region underdeveloped. Gilgit-Baltistan was illegally annexed by Pakistan more than 70 years ago. However, the Pakistani establishment has failed to develop the infrastructure of the region, leaving the people high and dry.
In news from Afghanistan, US Special Envoy Zalmay Khalilzad held a meeting with Afghan President Ashraf Ghani and discussed latest developments in the Afghan peace process, including the reduction in violence and the next steps.
U.S. Special Envoy Zalmay Khalilzad held a meeting with Afghanistan's President Ashraf Ghani and discussed developments in the Afghan peace process, including the reduction in violence and next steps. The meeting came at a time when local media reports suggest that Afghan government has postponed its plan to release the Taliban prisoners, a decision that could damage a deal signed last month between the Taliban and the United States. Earlier last week, President Ashraf Ghani announced that 1,500 Taliban prisoners would be freed as a gesture of goodwill in an attempt to resolve one of the long-running disputes with the armed group that had stalled intra-Afghan peace talks. Ghani's decree said the government would release the captives starting Saturday if the Taliban reduced violence, with plans to free another 3,500 prisoners after negotiations begin. The Taliban rejected the offer and demanded the release of nearly 5,000 captives, citing it as one of the conditions behind the US-Taliban deal signed last month that excluded Kabul.
Afghanistan on Monday confirmed 5 new coronavirus cases, bringing the tally to 21 in the country. The first positive case in Afghanistan was reported earlier this month in Herat province, which shares a large border with Iran, one of the hardest hit nations worldwide.
Afghanistan on Monday confirmed 5 new positive coronavirus cases, bringing the total number of cases in the country to 21. The 5 new cases include 2 in Herat, 2 in Logar and 1 in Badghis province. As coronavirus cases increased in Afghanistan, the Ministry of Public Health said on Saturday that it has made preparations to acquire at least 50,000 testing kits for the virus. Meanwhile, educational centers and training courses have been temporarily shut down as a precautionary measure to contain the spread of COVID-19. Authorities have also called upon all government and private entities to avoid holding conferences and seminars to fight spread of the disease. The first positive case in Afghanistan was reported in Herat province, which shares a large border with Iran, one of the hardest hit nations with nearly 14,000 confirmed cases and more than 700 deaths due to COVID-19.
As Sri Lanka continues to battle COVID-19, Buddhist monks in capital Colombo chanted sutra this weekend in a bid to bring spiritual relief. The total number of positive cases in the island nation rose to 18 on Monday.
500 Buddhist monks gathered at Sri Lanka's Independence Square in the capital Colombo this weekend to chant a sutra in a bid to bring spiritual relief amid the coronavirus outbreak. Sri Lanka is a majority Buddhist country, and major television and radio channels broadcasted the religious event live and advised people to listen to it from home rather than gathering at temples. Catholic church leaders also announced cancellations of Mass for at least the next 2 weeks. All sports events were cancelled and cinemas have been closed. In the latest, the Sri Lankan government declared March 16 a public holiday as the number of confirmed COVID-19 cases rose, while 100 people were under observation for the virus. As on Monday, the number of coronavirus cases in the country has risen to 18. The government has urged all citizens to avoid local pilgrimages and tours within the country, as all public gatherings had been banned till March 31st.
The Sigmo festival in India's Western Goa province is a colourful festival that marks the onset of spring. Streets in Panji town flooded with colourful processions this weekend as artists dressed in vibrant costumes, danced to the beats of drum and sang folk songs as part of the ongoing festival.
Streets in Panji town of India's Western Beach Resort province, Goa, flooded with colourful processions this weekend as part of an ongoing Sigmo festival that marks the onset of spring. Artists dressed in vibrant costumes danced to the beats of drum and sang folk songs as part of the celebrations. The 15-day-long Hindu festival Shikmotsav celebrates the beginning of spring and is a quintessential element of Goa's culture. Tourists who witnessed the event were spellbound by the celebrations.
It's very nice. It's the first time, so we never saw these kind of parades, so it's fun. A lot of dance, color. It's perfect. It's very cool.
Hundreds of performers clad in traditional outfits and colourful turbans were seen playing drums and chanting the names of various Hindu deities and performing Goa's folk dances. The parade also included martial dances like Ghod Morni or the horse dance, which is popular in the region.
बहुत ही अच्छा एक्सपीरियंस हो रहा है हम इधर आके यहाँ का कल्चर जानने की कोशिश करना चाह रहे हैं यहाँ बहुत ही अच्छा बनाया जा रहा है ऐसे हमें लग रहा है यहाँ एक ग्रुप आ रहा है और परफॉर्म कर रहा है और सभी ग्रुप अपने तरफ से बहुत बढ़िया परफॉर्मेंस दे रहे हैं हमें बहुत अच्छा लग रहा है
The festival commemorates the homecoming of the warriors who had left their homes and families at the end of the Dashera festival to fight the invaders.
A group of local women artisans in India's Jammu and Kashmir has initiated a carpet weaving unit to generate income for themselves. The group also teaches weaving techniques to young girls who later contribute to the unit's main work.
A group of local women artisans in India's Jammu and Kashmir has independently initiated a carpet weaving unit to generate income for themselves. Carpet weaving is one of the sources of livelihood for the people in the Kashmir Valley who are carrying the tradition for years now. The higher price of the raw materials such as the loom, design and the script for carpet weaving makes it difficult for the weavers to undertake any work alone. So, the group has started doing it together, which helps them sell their products together and then invest their income in the next assignment.
हम यहाँ पे बहुत सारे काम करते हैं लाइक मतलब तिला वर्क हम करते हैं आरी काम भी हम करते हैं और टेलरिंग भी हम करते हैं और यहाँ पे हम मतलब कुछ औरतें वो कॉर्पोरेट भी मतलब वो वेविंग भी करते हैं और हम यहाँ पे मतलब खुद ही मतलब हमने ये ग्रुप स्टैंड किया है अपने मतलब पैसों से और हमने मतलब हम फिर वो शाल बेचते हैं और वो तिला वर्क जो हम करते हैं वो मतलब जब हम कंप्लीट करते हैं और हम खुद ही बेचते हैं और जो वहाँ से पैसे मिलते हैं और फिर खुद दूसरा काम स्टार्ट करते हैं.
The all-female group also trains weaving techniques to young girls who later contribute to the unit's main work.
Well, that's all we have for you from South Asia this evening. Now our viewers can watch the show on SouthAsiaNewsline.com. You can also visit us on facebook.com/SAsia Newsline and follow us on Twitter @SAsia Newsline. That's all in tonight's edition. We will see you same time tomorrow. Good night.